Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have a 1v1 on Kholodny Ferma. Well, winter. Our heroes today are going to be Binary Helix, playing for the Germans. And his opponent, and the submitter of the replay, is going to be Jaeger, playing for the Soviets of the Red Army. So, yay! It is not Samoski Winter anymore. We are finally done with those games, and we are now going to be casting games that you guys submit. So, again, thank you for Jaeger sending this one in. Very nice. It is from the brand new patch. You can see little differences there with the icons over here. That doesn't really help us on the replay, but, well, we can open their profile if we wanted to. So, anyways, let's just head straight into the game and see. We can already see something interesting going on, and that is that Jaeger, the Soviet player, got himself his initial doctrine, and that is the defensive tactics that got introduced in this brand new patch. And from it, we see the DSHK-38 heavy machine gun heading straight onto the field. This is a 360. Ah man, I forgot exactly the amount. But basically, this is a heavy machine gun. It is should be stronger than the standard machine gun, the Maxim, and also it is capable of using armor-piercing rounds, so much more useful against light vehicles. So anyways, we do see the machine gun over here getting flanked around by the pioneers, the men on the machine gun taking quite a bit of damage, one of them already falling down, but the machine gun itself is going to jump into the house, which will deny the territory to the pioneers, and now the pioneers are in a little bit of trouble, and will have to end up evacuating the zone. Conscripts following up by Jaeger, so he will have some little bit more mobile forces, but look at that damage go down instantly. One man drops dead to that Maxim machine gun. Well, not Maxim, sorry. It's called DSHK, the Shka. The heavy machine gun, basically, for the Soviets. So, interesting. And that doctrine also gives the Soviet player the ability to lay down some anti-personnel mines. They do, I believe, blow up with vehicles, but they shouldn't do any damage to them, pretty much. Not exactly sure how effective they are, but they are, well, obviously, designed against infantry. They are very cheap, 7 munitions only. You only lay down 1, of course, but yeah, so very spammable. And also allows you to lay down tank traps, gives you the 120mm mortar and the light AT gun. So if you look at it in a certain way, that that doctrine is essentially tier 2. I mean, it's a slight variation on it, of course. It's a little bit more expensive on the units, except the AT gun. But, I mean, what does Tier 2 give you for the Soviets? It gives you mortar, machine gun, and an AT gun, right? So it's the same thing you get with this doctrine. You get yourself the mortar, the AT gun, and the heavy machine gun. So a little variations on those, but, I mean, it's essentially a Tier 2 doctrine, so it'll allow you to call those units in. Obviously, the mortar is, well, packs a stronger punch and is longer range than the mortar that you can build in Tier 2. The machine gun as well has a heavier punch to it, and the AT gun is the only one that has, you know, I guess you could say a weaker punch, but it is much cheaper, so it's an interesting choice, and I am very fond of it. I'm actually gonna plan on using it in my, well, hopefully, forthcoming casts. Well, not casts, but gameplay videos of becoming a hero. You know? So anyways, enough talk about that. I've been neglecting here the game. We see that Binary Hex went ahead and built himself his tier 1 like you would expect a German player to do so. And interestingly enough, he got himself 4 grenadiers and a mortar that's currently hitting the field. I happen to agree, or well, not disagree at the very least with this choice, because this actually gives him a option to dislodge that heavy machine gun. Heavy machine gun is, if used properly, I believe, should, well, be very, very deadly. So we'll see how that goes out. So anyways, conscripts for Jaeger. He has 4 conscripts on the field already with the machine gun as well. And yeah, I mean, it's a very, I guess you could say, similar composition. 4 conscripts to 4 grenadiers, with the change being a heavy machine gun to a mortar. So we'll see how that plays out. So territory-wise, we see Binary sending units to the south, but Jaeger is focusing in the south, especially because of the cutoff point. It looks like he doesn't want to concede that. The heavy machine gun is currently somewhere here, up north. No, that's not it. Over here, there we go. Covering the furthest north, or northeast victory point. Machine gun opens up and actually gets a suppression on that Grenadier squad, continues to shoot, and might actually get a pin, but we will never know. We hear some rounds falling, maybe from the mortar, but the mortar is traveling up north. And we also see Molotovs coming down from the conscripts of Jaeger. I do apologize in advance if this cast I sound, well, not sound, but feel a little bit off, I guess you could say. I haven't actually casted anything in a couple days. I took a little bit of a rest after finishing those casts on the tournament games, and while I feel great now, maybe threw me off of my groove a little bit, so, you know, getting back into it. So anyways, Gren's down south, managing to force away that conscript squad. We have a conscript squad coming up for the flank. They will throw a Molotov right on top of it, even though the other ones continue to move up to it. Gren does take the Molotov in the face. One of the guys dies instantly. The other guys decide to just simply walk away and get themselves on the other side of the cover. Rifle nade going down on the conscript squad, but they are spread out, so they will take some damage, but not critical. And down to 2 men, they will continue to stay on the field, capture, and then eventually move. Second mortar coming onto the field for binary helix, so that's a very interesting choice. I guess he definitely wants to dislodge that MG42, not MG42, sorry, the heavy machine gun. It's a brand new unit, guys. I'm still not a little bit used to it, but I hopefully will be a little bit more versed in it. I don't know the values of it, like how much health the units on the squad has. One thing that I did notice, however, is that the reinforced cost for it is very low. It's 10 per person in the squad, so I mean, it's very cheap, cheaper than conscripts. I don't know if that's always been the case. I'll have to check the max machine gun, but I'm pretty I would think not, at least. I don't know. So the 2 mortars for that binary helix, laying waste into the center of the map, just taking rounds whenever they can. Conscripts over here at 2 men, moving down south, going to capture that fuel point. Up north, we see the conscripts as well, capturing the victory points. So binary helix is going to start suffering in those victory points in a little bit. He's going to be triple capped. Currently, the game is only 7 minutes in, and we have 42 to 477, so, you know, nothing really wrong there. Most of the forces for Jaeger takes are back at base, and we now see him building Tier 1. And we also see Tier 3, so Tier 1 to Tier 3 for binary helix. So, skipping Tier 2 altogether, it's a very both popular strategy, but a bold gamble, essentially, because, well, you are sacrificing, you know, the Panzer Grenadier capabilities, half-track and all that, simply to be able to get tanks up a little bit faster, so hopefully your Grens can keep up with that, right? So anyways, up north, we see the conscript jumping into this house. They will fight against those Grens. Also, in the recent patch, changes were made to the houses, so they should be a little bit more stable now. You shouldn't see them collapse as often as before. The health value that you see up there is actually a little bit more representative of, you know, how close it is to collapsing. So Molotovs landing all over the place. Oh, very nice rifle nade there by binary helix. Nails this conscript squad, and the other one as well gets nailed by both Grens, down to 1 and 2 men respectively, but they do end up retreating, as well as the Grens retreating out of the field. A little bit of a preemptive retreat, I would say. There was only 1 conscript squad left, and I think they should have been able to take them, but, well, binary helix decides to concede the territory. Mortar still set up, spread out a little bit, being able to cover a wider area. Very nice. Grenadier squad going down south, but we now see that Jaeger Tech is going straight for Tier 3, and, well, you can almost guarantee that we know what that means. Tier 1 to Tier 3, that means a T-70. He actually does have the fuel for it. Not sure if he has the manpower. He does have 200 manpower, so I think he does. I forget exactly what the cost is for the T-70, and yeah, there it goes. Started production, so we shall see that T-70 very soon. And unfortunately for Jaeger Tech, I mean, binary helix, he did build himself Tier 3, but he doesn't have enough fuel to build anything from Tier 3 just yet. I mean, if he wants to go for the Stug, I mean, I guess that's the closest. But, I mean, he's still a ways away from the 115 for either a Panzer IV, which you probably would expect, or a Flak Panzer. Which, if you hear my commentary on the tournament games, kind of looks like I'm very fond of them. I don't know why, but I like seeing them in replays. It's a little bit of a bold move there, a gamble. So T70 hitting the field for Jaeger Tech. This is going to give him a lot of momentum. Only Grenadiers really on the field right now to oppose it. And that is the problem with skipping Tier 2. No pack gun there to, you know, try to hold the line against the T70. Obviously, the T70 is excellent at decrewing pack guns if it can get a flank on it. But, you know, it makes it a little bit more difficult if you support it with a Grand Squad and something like that. But well, right now it's not going to be an option. So mortar rounds landing in the center of the field, combat engineers and conscripts pushing into the center. We have the heavy machine gun taking residence up in that church, and they are going to defend the center, being nice and cozy in the church, so they're going to, you know, avoid the effects of the blizzard. Conscripts getting right on top of that mortar. The mortar has to retreat, and the Grens are trying as much as they can to hold the line. T70 though hitting the field, going to surprise those Grens quite immediately. And there we go. Grens are unpleasantly surprised, and down goes the shot. Doesn't actually manage to land anything. We see these Grens over here with a little bit of a defensive bonus. First strike bonus. Damage is increased for 5 seconds. Sorry. Damage is increased for 5 seconds when attacking an enemy unit out of camouflage. Oh, interesting. So they get camouflage? Where? I'm a little confused. Grenadiers. Gold meter. Where?
Ready.
Okay, I don't know what changed or what ability is triggering that. I don't. Well, I mean, I mentioned it, but the guys had the first strike bonus, but I don't see any camouflage capability. That's weird. Well, anyways, Grens freezing to death. They move up a little bit to get a little bit warm. The T-70 did decide to back off and is going down south hunting for units. There is a Gren squad over here freezing to death as well. And the T-70 manages to spot them, will open up, and Jaeger Tech will probably be able to get himself a free kill down here on Grand Squad. I don't see this Grand Squad making it out alive. Last man still not trying to run away, so Binary Helix not even attempting to retreat, and there he goes. We now have a light AT gun on the field for Jaeger Tech, so giving himself a little bit of an anti-tank capability. We do see a Panzer IV being produced for Binary Helix, so he will be able to counter that T-70 quite effectively. But Jaeger Tech is already up to 90 fuel, so he could probably get himself well, he can get himself a second T-70 if he wants to, but considering the fuel, he's probably going to get himself a T-34. So, a little bit of a slow game, I guess you could say, but still pretty nice to see the new doctrine in use. T-70 open up on those Grens down south. The Grens not even trying to approach for a Faust. Now they move up a little bit forward, but I think they're actually queued up in movement. Down to one man on the retreat. The T-70 does not pursue, unfortunately, so no kill there for the T-70. Gren getting right on top of that heavy machine gun. The mortar betraying the Gren, and it ends up getting itself killed. So the mortar actually landed and killed one friendly there, and this one, no friendly. So it killed one of the guys, and the other guys got shot by the men and the heavy machine gun. Heavy machine gun does end up being at one man retreating, but there it goes with its long, very long rifle. Look at that. The barrel on that machine gun is ridiculously long. But anyway, center of the map, T-70 harassing those Grenadiers. We now have the Panzer IV on the center of the map for Binary Helix, so he can use this to turn the game around. However, there is a T-34 as well hitting the field for Jaeger Tech, and plus the light AT gun. Even though it is a light AT gun, it does actually penetrate the armor of a Panzer IV and do damage, even though it doesn't do incredible damage. You know, damage is damage, so you have to be careful with that. Panzer IV does take an 18-8 to the face, and it crits on the engine, so it's down to about 60% health, maybe. AT gun taking some shots through the hedge, and here comes the T-34. T-34 goes straight, takes a shot on the face by the Panzer IV. Now gonna get himself behind the Panzer IV. The conscripts continue to move forward. Gonna throw another 18-8, adding more damage on top on the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV is now caught between a rock and a T-34, and T-34 decides that it's stronger than the rock. Shoots it, destroys the engine, and is now backing off. The Panzer IV does execute him on the retreat, however, and the Panzer IV is now, well, basically wedged against the cliff face. The light AT gun is a little bit further back, so it is unable to finish off the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV is trying to make its way out of that little well, hole that it dug itself into. The light AT gun is moving around. The T-70 might be bold enough to go for the kill. It is going in that direction. Let's see if Jaeger gets a kill on his T-70. T-70 now gonna run straight into the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV realizes, oh, that's T-70, but no. T-70 nails it right on the, I don't know, whatever it did, but blows it up in one shot. So a baller T-70 now has itself a Panzer IV on its belt, and very nice pickup there for Jaeger. So Binary Helix in a little bit of a pickle. Does not have enough fuel just yet to get himself another tank. And, well, neither does Jaeger. So T-70 is still going to be the king of the map right now. Only 3 Grand Squads left. They are taking a beating to that T-70. Veteran C2 now acquired on the Grants, and I guess we got to talk about the Veteran C because the Veteran C got changed. Vet 1 still the same for all units, but the Veteran C2 no longer gives the defensive bonuses that you're used to. It is now dependent on the unit. It is quite unique. So let's see, for example, the Veteran C2 on the mortar, it gives it improved battlefield survey, increases shell accuracy and rate of fire. So, like I said, no defensive bonuses on the units. It just gives it accuracy and rate of fire. So very nice. So it makes it a better mortar, essentially, right? Any other Veteran C2 units? There is a Veteran C2 conscript. I know we can read it. I mean, I know, guys. I know I can just mouse over here, but I'm just, calling it as it comes to, effect. Conscripts, well, they're back at base, so we'll just take a look over here and see what's going on while we read. So the conscripts at Veteran C2, they gain themselves advanced rifle training, improves weapon accuracy. How much? I don't know. I mean, they did mention it in the comments. I mean, not the notes. Not the comments. Sorry. The notes, the patch notes. They said exactly how much it increases. I don't particularly want to go and check right now. I guess I'll try to give it another read and become a little bit more familiar, because it doesn't actually say exactly how much accuracy it gives right here. But I guess it would be a little bit more interesting to know, right? So sorry about that, guys. Anyways, Veteran C2 mortar actually gets taken out by that T-70 quite handily, so it is quite secure. And the Vet 2 conscripts actually make themselves into the field over here. So they're now right on top of everything else. Although, actually, I think it's a different squad. Yeah, I think the other Veteran C2 is back here. So yeah, this one actually gained Veteran C2 and hit the field. But yeah, like I said, it's a lot of... essentially, they made an overhaul in the Veteran C for all units. And what they were trying to go for is to make the unit more effective at being that unit, right? So instead of having a global bonus, each unit gets a unique type of Veteran C bonus, and it just improves, the way they are. So like we said here, the mortar at Veteran C2 gets increased accuracy and rate of fire, right? The conscripts just get increased accuracy, so they're going to be better with their rifles. Let's see the Pios. The Pios at Veteran C2 improve mechanical techniques. Innovative mechanical techniques improves the squad's repair. Wow, that's very interesting. So no combat bonuses for Pios actually at Veteran C2. They just, repair faster. And at Veteran C3, combat expertise reduces the risk of repairing while under fire. Wow, so even that. So yeah, no combat bonuses at all for pioneers. They just get better at being pioneers, and that is repairing, right? Mainly what you use it for. So let's see, Panzer Grenadiers retreating already, so never mind. T-70 already got itself Vet 2, so at Vet 2 it's not gonna, get that defensive bonus like we said. It says battle-hardened crews improve main gun accuracy and rate of fire. So awesome, so it's gonna fire faster and be more accurate. So a better T-70, right? Very nice. So right now Jaeger is actually dominating. He has Binary Helix down to 217 points while he is sitting at 422, and that T-70 is just slaughtering everything coming out of the base. Binary Helix, unfortunately, hasn't been able to get himself a tank. He decided to back-tech to Tier 2 and got himself Panzer Grenadiers from that, so that's okay. Panzer Grenadiers do have those Panzer Treks, which might help him out taking out that T-70. The T-70, once again, remember, doesn't get those defensive bonuses anymore at Vet 2, so if it doesn't get repaired, it runs the risk of getting killed off. Let's see, Panzer Grenadiers, it says that at, very nice shots there on that T-34, doing it to about less than half health now. Well, we won't be able to check those Panzer Grenadiers. The Combat Engineers at Veteran C2, mechanical improves squad's repair time and repair while under fire, so that's awesome. So, okay, so The repair units, the engineers and pyos, just simply get repair bonuses. You know, they get better at repairing, so that's nice. Also makes them not, you know, that critical to get into the fight, because the bonuses that they get don't really affect the outcome of fights, because, you know, it just gives them bonuses to combat. Grenadier squad over here gonna get slaughtered, not even retreating. T-70 missing completely, so the heavy machine gun finishes it off. Let's see, the heavy machine gun, that's interesting. It gets the sprint ability at Veterancy 1, so that's nice. Veterancy 2, weapon proficiency, improves suppression and field control, nice. And improves burst control and accuracy, so that's nice. The T-70 at Veterancy 3, what's going to get? Elite crew navigates the battlefield with ease and have an increased awareness of their surroundings, so it increases the sight range, and I think I checked these stats before. I read them on the patch notes, and I think it increases the sight range, and it also increases like the acceleration, the speed, and the turning rate, so it makes it way more maneuverable. Pretty nice. So Jaeger tech pretty much dominating again the whole map. We now see binary helix down to 2 Grens and 1 Panzer Grenadier squad, plus a mortar and a pack gun. Pack gun on the field simply because it can fend off those T-34s, but not really going to be able to do much. Let's take a look at those Panzer Grenadiers. Where are they? They are going up north, so they're going to get a little bit slaughtered. Panzer Grenadiers, so combat expertise increases squad survivability and weapon control while under fire. So it looks like the Veterancy 2 for Panzer Grenadiers does give them a little bit of a defensive bonus. And at Veterancy 3, advanced rifle training improves weapon accuracy, so they just get more accurate at Veterancy 2. So that's nice. I think those are kind of similar to what they had before, but yeah, that's nice. I mean, it fits with the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers do have their Stormgewehr, so they're usually used to rush in and get right on top of the infantry, so that's nice. Conscripts at Veterancy 3, they get what? Expertise increases squad survivability and weapon control while under fire. So from that I can gather it's something on the for defense, and reduces the amount of suppression they get? I don't know. Something like that. T-34, battle-hardened crews gain better control over the vehicle's main gun, improving targeting and rate of fire. And elite crews navigate battlefield with ease, as well as fire with greater frequency. Okay, so it is different to the T-70, so that's nice. So anyways, there's a lot of T-34s now in the field for Jaeger Tech. He has 2 T-34s. We see Grenadiers coming down south over here, throwing rifle nade on that conscript squad, nailing it and getting it down to 1 man. Force the retreat. Once again, remember at Veterancy 2, these conscripts are no longer, you know, hardier than they once were. They are, you know, deadlier, I guess you could say, with the Veterancy 2 accuracy, but that's about it. They're still going to die just as easy as they once did, so it is something that you need to be careful of. Previously, at Veterancy 2, you could let conscripts take quite a beating and, you know, micro them less, I guess you could say, but look at their damage go down. They actually did a lot of damage to that squad, even though it is a pioneer squad, but you know, makes them deadlier. But, you know, keep conscripts at range and they're gonna, you know, pay out a little bit more. So yeah, Jaeger Tech pretty much confining Binary Helix to his base sector. Binary Helix did select his own doctrine, and that is the Festung Armor Doctrine. But it doesn't really do much for him right now. He doesn't have a tank. He is getting himself a Panzer IV, which I guess could, you know, pop smokes and hold down if he wanted to, but it's not going to help him out a lot at this point. Mortar taking some shots at whatever it can. And center of the map getting engaged by the conscripts, grenadiers, and more grenadiers. T-34 is moving out just to start doing some more damage. And the Grens are taking quite a beating to those conscripts. Once again, remember, they do get accuracy. So that means they're going to be stronger. Sandbags getting laid down by Jaeger Tech as well, just fortifying his positions, but the mortar is bombarding those conscripts and doing quite a bit of damage. Stolen mortar over here is freezing, but looks to be fine. And the T-34s are just rolling straight into the enemy base. We now have the Panzer IV hitting the base for Binary Helix, but he is down to 3 points, and the game is going to be over before anything happens. The ramp goes off, but actually misfires because it hits the back of his own tank. So Jaeger Tech not able to do that. So yeah, I mean, Jaeger Tech said it himself. He said the game wasn't as good as he would have wanted, but it was the first game, well, not first game, but one of the only games that was available for this patch, because unfortunately both CoH2.org and Game Replays has not been able to update their uploader yet, so no games are out there to choose from. But again, I mean, thank you very much for Jaeger for sending this one in. I'm pretty good. He showcased the new doctrine pretty well with the ability to get, you know, those heavy machine gun right off the bat at the early game, and yeah, pretty decent play going for tier 1, tier 3. It's a very big a gamble, but I feel it's a little bit more viable with that doctrine, and it is exactly one of the builds that I was thinking about doing. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.